Okay, Chris, pleasure to meet you online, and
It's
happy
absolutely
Michelle
mine.
referred you to me. So, why don't you introduce yourself, and based on your introduction, we can decide what to talk about.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate this opportunity. It's a delight to be welcomed in and invited as one of your guests. My name is Chris LeBaron, and I used to be a software engineer when I met your daughter Michelle,
Oh,
and we both worked for Ellie Mae, and it was a wonderful experience. I got to work there for over a handful of years, met a lot of people, and you open a number of doors within the industry that or Michelle opened some of those doors for me to explore different opportunities within the realm of Ellie Mae. And now I have two startup websites, companies that I'm in the middle of creating. Some pieces are developed and deployed and ready for um, implementation. They're ready for people to participate and come in and receive the gifts that are there.
okay, okay, sounds good. So, yeah, everything influenced us, right? The sound, like you said. So,
Yeah.
what is the synergy comes from where? Um, if we want to start with the word synergy.
Thank you. I love that. For me, the word synergy, beyond the definition that's offered in dictionaries, to me, the word synergy really is key component into the vision and my desire of what I'm creating, a way where all beings can come together and be valued equally and show up, and their being present is the gift, and everything past that is an amplification and an addition to whatever unique magnificence each person brings to that foundation of synergy.
Mhm.
It's
Is
a
it
it's a
the more
delight.
people, the more energy?
Yes, yes. The more people, the more unique creations, the more unique ideas, the more opportunities. Everything just
Develop.
expands,
Yeah.
more opportunities become available.
That's why big companies keep on hiring even though they don't need to.
Well, could
Maybe,
be.
maybe.
That
Or maybe they keep on hiring to pay zero taxes. That's also another reason.
also could be a possibility.
Okay. So since you have been an engineer, let's say maybe 3 years ago, you decided to go in a different direction.
Yes, the it really, really was weighing heavy on my heart. I felt like I was contributing to somebody else's dream. I was contributing and contributing. And when I first met Michelle at one of the LMA conferences in 2019, I was there to receive an award for the Developer Challenge, as well as the LMA Hall of Fame for 2019. And while that's exciting, I was building something for someone else. I was building someone else's dream. And I have this desire within me to bring my unique abilities into the world in a way that can bring benefit and be of service to all of the world.
Mhm.
Um,
But the thing
it,
is, when you work for a company, you're really working for yourself because you're developing too. You're developing yourself.
yes, I see that. As
Yeah,
I went
but
through, I learned,
basically you look at it from the ego, like you it's mine. But
yes,
the real thing is we all developed through different channels. So at that for 15 years you were an engineer, you were developing too.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's a
And now
beautiful career.
you wanna focus on a different side of your interest.
Yes. And part of that came about when right around 2015, 2016, I began to experience a great deal of struggle inside. I
Okay.
had reached a point in my life where I had done all of the actions that I had been taught to find happiness, and it wasn't working. I felt absolutely lost. I felt at wit's ends. I felt like I had failed every single teaching that I was aware of. I had exhausted those tools as possibilities, and I was sitting on the edge of a cliff contemplating suicide, and I found one reason to stay alive, and I went out and asked some people that I trusted and admired for some options, what I can do. And I didn't share with them from a deep space of shame and guilt. I did not share with them that I had been on the edge of suicide. So they shared with me some suggestions, and I went out and I did that thing. And along that new journey, I discovered holistic healing, energy working, alternative medicines, and I dove in. I began to feel like a ray of sunshine had entered and pierced my heart and offered me the opportunity to take a breath of clean air, something I had not experienced in a very long time. And I knew in that moment I wanted to pursue that as a new career path. And
Okay.
so there came a moment where I received a very beautiful experience and an opportunity to step into being self-employed full time. And
Nice.
that's what brought me
You
here.
you won the lottery or something?
In some aspects, metaphorically, yes, I won the lottery.
Okay, but because you were financially free, you decided to go self-employed.
I chose to go self-employed because I had been practicing energy work and alternative medicines, and I wanted to focus on that and bring it forward. So my employment with a company came to a close. They offered me a settlement, and I chose to really dive in seriously and use the funds that were available from that settlement
Okay, okay,
to
sounds
create
good,
something
sounds
brand
good.
new.
Yeah, that's a good way to start a new career, having a little bit to fall back on. So,
Yeah.
so is it like already structured or is still in the you, the formation stage? I mean, you have exactly an idea what you're gonna do with synergy.
Yes. So ourhumansynergy.com is up and running, and that is a place where people can receive their human design chart reading as well as their gene keys reading, and also connect at a much deeper level through channeled, intuitively guided insights around um, the human design chart and the gene keys chart. People are able to ask questions such as, well, based on where I am in this moment, what are some options for me to move forward, to make progress, step towards a greater state of well-being, a greater state of happiness, some insight around some emotions and some patterns that continuously and regularly pop up in my life. What can I do? The other site, seraphicsounds.com, is also up and running, and that's a collective of practitioners where we offer things like sound therapy, Reiki, quantum healing, um, emotional transformation work, breath work, and there's also the ability to go into a profound um, channeling where guides and
So you know
uh,
all these things that
yes,
you mentioned, you know. So it's a one-man
yes,
show.
they're available now.
Are you a one-man show?
Kind of, in a lot of ways, yes. And
Okay,
in other ways,
for now you're
I'm
a
the only
one-man show.
practitioner.
Okay. So if you get maybe too many clients, then you can team up with a partner or something.
Oh, I have other partners who receive the bookings as well, and we share the clients and we share the opportunities.
Okay.
Whichever opportunity feels in alignment and feels true for somebody, then that's where we choose to honor.
Okay. And people contact you through LinkedIn or something else?
People are able to contact us directly from seraphicsounds.com as well as our humansynergy.com. For the sake of people who have not yet visited those sites, you're welcome to call me on my phone at area code 385-342-2144.
Okay.
And
Okay, so let's say I just heard about you, let's say, and I call you.
okay,
What's your first question to me?
what inspired you to connect? What is it
Oh,
that your
what
heart desires?
inspired me to call you?
Yes, yes,
Okay, and then you tell them how can I help you?
more or less. Yes.
Yeah,
What
and
what
the person usually have an issue they want to work with you.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And it's just mild issues, things that you don't need the medical degree to fix, right?
That is such a beautiful question. And each practitioner has a different path of studies and a different path of interest, a different path of experience, and the number of practitioners that are available to the team is quite significant. I work with I work with doctors who used to practice medicine in the operating room and in the emergency room. There are registered nurses. There are people who are homeopathic doctors. I myself have been invited in to assist with people being born and people dying, people experiencing issues with torn ligaments, damaged nerves, damaged bones, infertility. And
These are physical issues, not spiritual issues.
yes,
So
yes,
you don't deal with physical issue, you're not a doctor.
I don't deal with physical issues in the same way that a medical doctor would.
Okay, let's say somebody has, like you said, a ligament that's broken, whatever. Uh, how, as a spiritual healer, can you heal that?
It, it's going to depend on how receptive each person is and where they are in their awareness of what's going on and in the awareness of what the options are. And so I'll talk about the options that are available
Yeah.
as I currently know them, and I will, where appropriate, collaborate with other practitioners and or doctors. Some people feel more comfortable including a medical trained doctor, and I would agree in that situation. If that's where the comfort is, then that's what I'm going to suggest and promote.
But you come from the point of view that, like they say, what's the expression? Everything is psychosomatic, so that's where you want to take it from that angle.
Not everybody's able to hold that angle. I want to discover where each person is so that I know how to speak to that person in a way that they're going to know that I see them and I hear them and I'm understanding what it is they're experiencing. And once they feel that, then they become a little bit more receptive to hearing about some options. And of course, I want to chat with them about which options they've already explored and what their experience has been with each one of those options, as well as what their heart is telling them might be additional options.
Got it.
So, all of that I want to discover first before I start inserting my opinion.
Okay,
But
so
to
have like
answer your question,
covered
yes, I'm
you just
I'm of the
to help.
perspective that everything could be from a psychosomatic condition. And so I would love to explore the root of what that psychosomatic condition is and how to move through it and then integrate it so everything is back into balance.
Okay. You've been starting this project for 3 months now. Do you feel already that you are in the right path?
I know I am.
Oh, you do. You like helping people through their problems,
Absolutely. It's a very satisfying feeling.
problems or something.
Yes, yes.
So
That
you,
moment when someone goes, oh, I can do this.
okay.
And I know that there's a way through this. That is just invigorating. It's amazing. There are
Oh,
no words to adequately express what that feels like to me.
so somebody did it on you and it worked. So now you're doing it for others. That is it.
Yes,
That is
that
it.
is it. That
And
is it.
okay, and then you transmit that energy to that next person.
Yes.
Okay, for from our first minute together, I can see that you're a happy person. You don't seem depressed at all. I mean, so are you cured?
I feel like I have a very rich toolbox available to me, and I dip into it and I find the tool in each moment that allows me to reconnect with my happiness.
That
And
and
yes, I
this
feel
your
very
happiness
confident.
talk to people.
Will you ask that one more time,
As
please?
you said, I said the source of that new happiness is to talk to people.
There is a component of that. And prior to, yes, yes, I would agree with that. Part of that source did come from talking to people. Talking to people got me off the ledge of my suicide. And it keeps me in a place where I remember that I am alive and that I remember that I choose to be alive and that there are many opportunities when I allow myself to find them.
Okay. So that opportunity just presented itself and you're exploring it now because 3 months is a beginning, right?
I, I love that question. So I actually created ourhumansynergy.com with a dear friend of mine about 2 years ago. And seraphicsounds.com, I actually created that with another dear friend of mine about 4 years ago.
Oh, so it's been a while. Okay.
I began practicing holistic alternative medicines back in about October of 2017.
All right. So, so your journey started before those 2 years then, or 4 years? We
Yes,
started something 4 years ago and another one 2 years ago. So your personal journey was way before that.
yes,
And then maybe it was 2 years before those 4 years. And then when you saw results, you decided this is it. I can help other people now.
yes, absolutely. The relief I felt, that sparked something inside, and I knew that if I could share that moment, if I could share that same type of a feeling with anybody else, that's what I wanted to do.
And what's I'm not gonna say technique, but what's the one way that works the best?
Each person is most likely going to find a technique that works best for them
Yeah.
for a month, for a couple of days, for a couple of years. Becoming aware of additional techniques has been the thing that works best for me because a technique, a couple of techniques will be fabulous and absolutely perfect for me for a little while. And then my curiosity will begin to ask questions of, oh, well, what else can I explore? And how else can I discover more about me and expand my happiness, expand who I am?
Okay, so could you go back to the name of your company, Synergy? You mean when you and your other person connect, I won't call them patients, but I would call them maybe client. When you connect, there's a synergy, correct? And it heals both of you.
I love that perspective. Yes. The healing process definitely is a shared experience. Even though when I go approach another practitioner and I may be experiencing something that I don't quite understand, there's something called entrainment, where my energy and the other person's energy kind of create an additional energy, and in there is where the moments of discovery happen,
Okay,
and we can both learn something from each other.
right. So you had,
That's where that synergy comes into play, because now we're both choosing to learn something about ourselves, the other person, and new opportunities.
so when you worked with whatever other person who helped you, you also helped that other person because you gave them that person feedback and they gave you feedback and healed both of you.
Yes, very
That's
much.
this is like the student appear when the teacher appear when the student is ready, and vice versa.
Yes,
And
yes.
who needs that kind of synergy? Tell me.
Whoever feels it, call here. It's not my place to tell anybody that that's what they need.
Oh, okay, okay.
Every
Oh,
person gets to feel that here, and
oh,
when they feel
really?
it,
When
it will.
they read your website, they say, "Yeah, I think that's what I need."
That might be the place where they discover that that's what they want,
Okay.
and not. That's okay.
Okay, so most of the people you have helped so far are what, teenagers, professionals, retired people? Who needs the most help nowadays?
All of the humans who breathe oxygen.
Yeah, but at some point in their life, we all experience different things at different phase of our lives. So when do people encounter the most issues? Because once you mature and maybe older, then you understand a few things and you figured it out. But isn't it when you're young and you can't figure it out that all the problems lay?
That's a very beautiful question, and my awareness from personal discovery and overhearing other professionals and other people in this psychology field, in the philosophy and the theosophy areas, the simple answer is yes.
Because I spoke to someone today without mentioning any name, but we were talking about something current, 2025. And I said, "What's the problem?" And she was bringing up something that happened 8 years ago. I said, "What's the matter?" She said, "Yeah, my son at 27 committed suicide." And she said, "Since then, I don't check my email too often." But I told her that was 8 years ago. You should check your email because I sent her something. And so people grieve for years.
Yes, that, yes. Each of us experience our emotions. Each of us experience and process what occurs differently.
And
There's not a
it's not
thing
as
for
easy as snap out of it and it's done.
some people. Suggesting that they just stop it and they snap out of it, that might work, but not. It's been my experience that that doesn't actually work for very many people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it needs a little time, a little time.
I certainly take time.
Yeah. By the way, you don't live by the ocean? Do you live by the ocean?
No, I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. Instead
Oh,
of an ocean, I have a very large inland lake, the Great Salt Lake.
oh, you live next to a lake?
Yes,
Oh. So how's Utah? Is it good?
it's very beautiful right now. The spring flowers have been blooming for about a week, 2 weeks now. They smell very fragrant. There are blossoms on trees. The birds are out and singing. It's very beautiful.
It's very healing, isn't it? To hear the nature.
Oh, yes. There's still snow high up in the mountains, and that will be melting for a couple more months. And it feels wonderful to go put my feet in the streams and the rivers as they're flowing down the mountain. And yes, it's quite cold and it's very invigorating.
Yeah. And have you lived all your life there?
No, I was born in Mexico, in Tijuana. I have family who live in Chihuahua. I was raised all over the Western United States, everything from San Diego all the way up to uh, Washington, the state of Washington. And I didn't quite live in the Dakotas.
Yeah.
However, as a youth, my
Isn't
father
it
took us
better because
times.
it's warmer than they have beaches there?
I remember living in Arizona, southern Arizona, just south of Tucson, and I loved it. And then when we moved to Utah, it took me 10 years to acclimate to the drastic difference of temperature. It's like,
Yeah.
what's this cold stuff? Ah! And now I
Yeah.
love this.
So you adjusted to the cold winters?
It took me 10 years, but yes, I adjusted.
You never thought rather than take 10 years to adjust, I should go back to San Diego?
That was so frustrating to me. 10 years. Ah, is it going to be cold again? 10 years. And then it finally just, okay, my body was happy.
Oh,
I
what
put on
kept
a coat.
you there as friends?
Good.
What kept you there as friends?
A family.
Oh, family.
Yeah,
Family.
family.
Yeah, that family is more important than the weather then.
Yes, I agree. My youngest really enjoys reminding me about how wonderful the snow is.
Oh, okay. So that's good that you have family there. That I'm happy to hear that. So do you plan on coming to San Francisco one day?
Absolutely. It's beautiful. I look forward to going back to San Francisco.
All right, look forward to meet you then. So uh, the main company that you have is called Synergy what?
OurHumanSynergy.com.
Or Human Synergy. Can you tell me briefly how sounds come into play here? Because there's seraphic sound and our human synergy. They have nothing to do with each other, right?
Not really. You are correct. They are two components in the larger vision that I'm creating.
Okay.
OurHumanSynergy.com offers insight around who I am as a unique individual.
Mm-hmm.
We're using the tools of positive intelligence, human design, and gene keys, allowing those to not be a label or a definition, simply a map that has a little bit more clarity around some of the possibilities of how I, as a unique person, am going to experience the flow of energy through my body
Mm-hmm.
and the emotions that are most likely to occur in certain situations,
Mm-hmm.
and where I can begin reflecting, introspecting, and pondering how I choose to move through that, and as well as receive some coaching and some guidance around some possibilities around how I can experience a more profound and meaningful life with more joy and peace and balance. Where seraphic sounds, the sounds come into play because words are power. There's a beautiful book that I love. It's called The Four Agreements. And it very beautifully illustrates the importance of language and the way I express myself verbally. Because words are not simply a noise that come out of my face. I have my thoughts, I have my ideas, I have my beliefs, I have what I feel about each one of those thoughts, ideas, and beliefs. And I have my intentions, the ones I'm aware of, and the ones that I'm not aware of. All of those come together before I put a noise or a sound to them. So when that sound comes out, all of those other energetic components come along with. For example, have you ever been in a room and somebody very grumpy or angry walks into the room and you know it? You don't have to see it. You just feel it. You know that there is a grumpy, angry person who just walked into the room.
Of course, the energy travels.
Yes, yes. That energy is also within our words. So I might say something to you, and you might hear something, but if I'm not being completely honest, if I'm not being completely genuine and authentic, you're going to feel the energy of what my real message is. You're going to know that I'm lying to you.
Okay. But now that you're a little bit more mature, you don't get emotional anymore, I hope. I mean, you're not immature and all that. I mean, you pretty much understand what caused whatever emotion you had at that time, correct?
It's been a very interesting journey, and you are correct. I, I know pretty much what's going on, and I am very intentional with the way I choose to respond.
To people.
Yes,
Good. So are most of your, do you call them clients, very respectful of you, or do they treat you like a friend?
there's a variety. Some are respectful, some some approach from a codependency in a very clingy, needy way, and some approach very open. Some are tentative, and all are welcome. It's okay.
Okay.
They
You have
every
to
single
identify
person
the type
from
of
where they are able.
codependency. That mean they like to help you.
Codependency from the aspect of they want me to do everything for them.
Really?
Expect they expect a lot of um,
Answers.
support, a lot of answers. They expect it on their timeline, and some of them expect it for free. They want it now and they want it for free.
But they know it's not free, right?
Yes, they know. Everyone knows.
Okay. So after they see you, they receive a bill.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But since you don't have like an office or anything, there's no receptionist taking the payment or anything. It's just between you and the client.
That is correct. I
That's
do accept I do accept bookings and payments online. I do I I'm open to negotiation in a way that feels resonant with each person.
yeah.
What can we negotiate? What feels doable and resonant for each person? What feels honoring?
Yeah, because there's a standard scale for Reiki healers out there. There's a standard way of people get paid for coaching or things like that. So it's expected that you'll be within that range or something like that.
Absolutely.
Now, let's say you have more than 3 months experience or 2 years experience, I'm not sure. At that point, then you say, now I'm even better than 4 years ago, I can charge more. You think that could happen?
Absolutely. It absolutely happens. The cost of living goes up. Am I required to not have a house, a home, a shelter? Am I not required to put food on my table? And
No, but I mean,
often,
some coach charge so much per hour. And some coaches charge 10 times more.
Oh, yes,
So,
yes,
so maybe they get a reputation or something.
yes. And each practitioner, each person, it, it's it's on each person. It's my responsibility to know my value, to know my worth, to
Exactly.
declare that. That doesn't mean that anyone else is required to agree with it. And
You know your
so it's
worth.
my responsibility to also see what I'm willing to do to meet people who are ready to come approach me and make requests. So
Mhm.
if I make it possible, then the number of potential clients or students, that number is affected by that. So I
Yeah.
take all of these into consideration.
But you take into consideration that one client is a CEO and the other client might be just the assistant?
No,
No, you don't take that.
no, there's
Be-
no need for that.
And let's say it makes 10 times more than the other, it's not based on that.
No,
No, it's based on you, what you think you're worth.
it's okay. For clarity, are you asking how it is that I created my payment scale?
No, I'm saying is if someone can afford more, do you charge them more?
No, I don't do that.
Oh, you don't do
No.
that. Okay. That so no, I just thought maybe if there's a way of looking at different people, right? But
Yeah, I get that. That does occur. I'm not one of those.
okay, okay. So yeah, I think why don't you tell me a couple words about Reiki? I know I hear it all the time. So what is it? What's the what's the base of it?
The word Reiki are two Japanese words, Rei and Ki. They mean universal life energy. And the word Reiki also talks about the practice of channeling or sharing that universal life energy. It, the practice began right around the early 1900s in Japan, and now it's spread across the world. A lot of people hear it, and it's that universal life energy is recognized as an expansive and intelligent, conscious energy. It's the energy from which everything that is created. It's an energy that connects all life. And the premise of sharing that is I don't share my energy. My energy is mine, and each person, their energy is theirs. I don't go with to take somebody's energy, and I don't go to give my energy to somebody else. As a practitioner, when I'm invited into supporting and assisting somebody else, there becomes a sacred contract between that person, creator, and myself. And my agreement in that contract is I will simply channel or be available for that energy to flow through me and become available for the other person. And then the contract between the person and I is my energy is mine, your energy is yours, and whatever you experience is yours. It's not my story. I won't talk about it unless you offer me consent or permission to talk about it. It's
But
sacred
if
and
you have higher
personal.
energy, you transmit that to your patient?
The universal life energy is all that I transmit to the patient. And the agreement between the patient and creator is that creator is the one who does the healing, not me.
Okay.
Whatever creator is going to step in and meet the person where they are. in that space of unconditional love and offer them what the person is ready to receive in a way that the person can receive it and will receive it. And
Okay.
the contract from the person to creator is their level of vulnerability, their level of openness, their level of receptivity.
And then it takes how long to heal? Or it could be one session or 10 session?
Yes, it is none of my business.
Oh, or it's up to them to decide if they feel better?
Yes, yes.
So you basically healing spiritually, and how do you transmit that to the physical?
Everything that exists in the physical was first created in the non physical. So I go to the non physical and I communicate and invite the non physical into the physical. And it's the non physical that brings resonance and harmony back into the physical. The
And,
physical remembers it wakes up, it remembers of what it wants to be from the non physical. That blueprint is reintroduced or strengthened and brought back down into the physical so that the physical remembers what it wants to be, what it was intended to be all along.
and
And that
what's your specialty? What do you heal the best? Heal heartache, or do you heal uh, emotional issues from childhood? What do you heal the best?
I hear your question, and I have been granted many unique opportunities. I, I'm not able to quantify that. I don't have a narrow answer for that. I have
So you
done.
are open to any kind of situation, or you have a specialty?
I feel open to nearly every situation. I have done that many things. Um, I feel I have done so many things. I'm open to being wherever it is that I'm guiding, and it feels resonant in my heart
For the other person?
for me. If I'm being invited in, it's my responsibility to make sure I am able to show up in the way that the other person deserves.
Okay. Okay. Makes a little bit of sense. Um, but the person tells you after the session if it helped them or not.
Most of them do, and if
Tell you
they
or they
don't,
don't?
okay.
They do tell you.
Yeah, I have one story I was granted permission to share a new hmm, a woman who wanted to be a mom. She was experiencing a great deal of fear around that, and both she and her husband had explored various options. And so when I was invited in to offer whatever I was able to, that's about all I was told. And then as time progressed, a couple of sessions into it, I became aware that there was even more to it than that. Um, I was later, she shared later that she had already gone through 3 unsuccessful sessions of in vitro fertilization. And one of her big fears was she didn't want to go through that again. She thought her body was broken and she wasn't ever going to be a mom. And
Mm.
she did not want to go through that painful process. Very invasive, very scary.
Hmm.
And I didn't know that until about a month or two into um, offering sessions and holding space for her. And prior to her sharing that, I became aware that she was actually pregnant. And I didn't share that with her. That wasn't my story. She actually called me a couple of weeks later, very excited that she was pregnant. And it, I haven't felt called to share with her that I knew that before she had told me. You know, I
Nice.
just didn't feel like it was honorable. It didn't feel in alignment with what my purpose was in that space.
That's awesome. I like to hear these kind of stories. Yeah, so congratulations on helping that woman or that couple. So thank you for sharing that with us. I know you don't have to, but um, I'm sure there are other issues that you can uh, look into and see if with your wisdom and maturity you can bring something to the person. Thank you so much for sharing all these things. And people can go then to ourhumansynergy.com or to seraphicsounds.com. Seraphic doesn't come for Sephardic, but seraphic means what?
Over pertaining to the seraphim. And the seraphim are angels who are committed to offering care to this solar system and this galaxy.
Oh,
And they show up in that space, that unconditional love and support.
not you can't hear it, correct?
Well, if you're asking if I can hear it, I perceive it.
If you say
Uh,
sound, but it's not really a sound.
it depends on who you're asking. Um, the sounds, the sounds part of the name came in from the sound therapy that we offer. Sound baths, breath work, drumming, shamanic guided meditations, where sounds are involved, as well as vocal toning, being able to sing or speak a specific frequency to a specific area of somebody's body, or even my own body, that will bring resonance and harmony back into that area of the body.
Okay. Okay. But I noticed after speaking to you about 50 minutes that you're you have a calm voice, like you um you're not aggressive or anything. You're very leveled in your sound. You don't get up, down.
Appreciate
You're just a calming kind of person. You have a
it.
calm
Yes,
effect to reassure people,
yes,
correct? Okay,
that is correct.
pleasure meeting you online. I'm sure there's a lot more to learn. I didn't go to your website yet, but I will see what's going on over there. What is the party about? And thank you for sharing all of this with us. And so let me repeat your name, Chris LeBron.
Yes.
And you do Zoom therapy or in-person therapy or
Oh,
both?
I've traveled the world. I have an active passport.
Okay, you can go somewhere else. Okay. Don't go to your
Yes,
dangerous places though.
I
Try to.
don't.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the day and enjoy Utah.
Thank you. It's been a great pleasure connecting with you.
Thank you.